your cellies poop, and how to live with it. Coming up. Nah, I'm just playing. That's not what this is about. This video is about just the effects of Pelican Bay and how it can fuck with you mentally and sometimes physically. Stay tuned. There you go. Tonight is definitely a late night. Dale gas.
Pole, let's it's him. It's him. Come pole, let's come west side. Come pole, let's west side. Come pole, let's west side. Come pole, let's S.H.U. Come pole, S.H.U. If don't know now, you know KAMPOLERO. Come pole, S.H.U. Tonight is definitely a late night. Come pole, let's 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 If don't know now, you know KANPOLE.
Radio, tonight is definitely a late night. West homies, what's going on, everybody? Today's kind of a, I don't know, I'll call it a serious topic, or just something interesting. The effects of being confined in a place like Pelican Bay S.H.U. That place definitely has an effect on people. What it does, it brings a lot of paranoia, a lot of fucking fucked up thoughts. I mean, it's crazy. Even though you ain't have no skeletons in your closet, you haven't done nothing wrong. You know, it's such a serious place and such a quiet place. It makes you think sometimes the worst, but you can't ever, like, you gotta, you know, just keep that shit to yourself, because really, like, you're gonna sound like a big old punk or a bitch if you're like, hey, are you talking about me? Are you talking about me? Or da, da, da. You know what I mean? And you definitely don't want that. You never show weakness, period, because you show weakness, you're done, dude. So, but deep inside, sometimes you can't help it. So when you hear them talking about just kind of whispering events, or they're talking to each other and you can't really hear what they're talking about, sometimes they're just fishing lines, and you know, they're like, hey, get my line. You got my line? And you know, you're thinking, oh, are they passing kites about me? The place starts to get to you. It's crazy, and for like no apparent reason. I don't know the you know why. You know what I mean? I'm not a doctor. I'm definitely not a brain doctor. And so, but it definitely does these things. Like I said before, I've mentioned in videos about homies that have just basically lost their minds in there for no apparent reason. You know what I mean? They're walking around the yard just talking to themselves, fucking just like not the same person anymore, just lost it. And other dudes that they panic, and there's stories of dudes who have taken off on their cellies, just like blam, blam, blam. As soon as the seal rolls up to bring them food, just because they're scared. I've heard stories of homies playing mind games and just like tell them, hey, dude, hey, you have to fuck up your celly, dog, or just putting shit in people's head to test them to see if they don't break, and just fucking do some PC move and take off on their celly or something when the seal's around. I've known of a homie that, that I'll tell you that one next. I've seen a dude jump do a nosedive off of fucking the tier up in the pod and land on his face, boom, become a vegetable, but didn't die. And unfortunately for him, I guess, I know when I had got to Pelican Bay the first time, Pelican Bay S.H.U, my first S.H.U there, as soon as I got there, we were told that this person, and it was a homie, before we moved in that cell, I guess homie had hung himself. And they said that he was just out of nowhere. He started talking in the vent, talking about, but he wasn't talking to anybody except for, I guess, his homies, his dead homies maybe. And he was like, hey, homie, hey, it's me, dude. Hey, don't worry, dog. I'll be there soon. You'll see me soon and shit. And I guess the homies were like yelling up to him, like, dog, you all right up there? He goes, yeah, I'm good. Next thing you know, he hung himself. There's a lot of cases of some crazy shit like that. You know what I mean? There's people that they just snap, they lose it. But what it also does is, besides bringing the paranoia and the crazy shit, it brings, like with me, it brought dreams. I had some bad dreams, man. That shit was crazy. I remember one time I said he was tripping out because, you know, I'm asleep, everything. He was up reading, and I mean, they get this real, like sleepwalking. Put it this way, I got up on my bunk and I sat up, and he see my feet going, and I'm like, hey man, you see that fool? And he's like, what? You know, he thought I was awake. And I swear to God, I jumped off my bunk and I'm pointing at the sink where our toilet's at. Above it, there was a head fucking floating on that motherfucker, floating above it. And I seen that motherfucker, and I'm like pointing at it, dog, you don't see it, the head is floating. There's a fucking person's head floating above the fucking toilet sink. And he's like, nah, Mouse, I think you're dreaming. I'm awake, fool. Look, you don't see it? I got all mad. You don't see it? What the fuck? And he's like, dog, there's nothing there, fool. Like, lay down. I'm like, man, you don't know. Fuck it, just let a fucking head float fucking on top of this thing. Let it. Fuck it. You don't want to do nothing? I ain't gonna do nothing. Fuck it. He's like, all right, Mouse, but just lay down and maybe the head will go away. And I'm like, whatever. Fuck it. If you don't care, Holmes, I don't care. And I jumped back up on my bunk and fucking went to sleep, dude. And I did remember later, but that's the kind of shit that it does. It actually fucking did. True story. And I didn't remember at first. Is later on or next morning or something. I remember, but myself, he told me like, dude, you were tripping last night. I said, what are you talking about? He's like, you don't remember? I was like, nah. And I thought I did, but I wasn't sure, you know? But then he explained it to me, and as he explained and through time, and I'm thinking about it, it came to me. I did remember. But I still remember, but I don't know where the fuck that came from or what the fuck, but I thought the head was floating on top of my fucking sink. You know, and you know, you just think sometimes it just gets the best of you, you know, and it's kind of hard to not think like bad thoughts. It's kind of hard to not be paranoid about certain things because I don't know, man. Imagine you had, God forbid, you had some bad charges or a secret that no one knew about. Man, that gotta be hard for them motherfuckers. They're probably in there like, ah! You know what I mean? Those are the ones that probably break the easiest, I'm thinking. But like me, I used to have to tell myself, of course, you can't share this with nobody. Who the fuck are you going to share it with? Not a goddamn person. Well, could you imagine, hey, Sally, could you sit down and talk to me? I feel like a big old fucking chavala right now, you know what I mean? like, nah, man, it ain't like that. You can't do that. Oh, I'm feeling I got butterflies on my stomach. I'm feeling kind of scared, you know what I mean? You don't get down like that, you know what I mean? You just keep that shit, put that fucking face on, that mask on, you just like, I don't give a fuck, I'm a ride. You know what I mean? I don't give a fuck about nothing, I don't give a fuck. But deep down inside, that shit be eating at you and shit. And I used to tell myself when I'd have crazy, it wasn't all the time, but when I'd have my moments where I start thinking like, what the fuck? Are they talking about me? Or, I don't know. Let me tell you another reason why. Because people do get crossed up for nothing. That's the hard part. And if it could be a political thing, it could be a thing, it could be just someone saving their own ass. I don't know. Or someone just don't like you. You hear about that. Motherfuckers be crossing fools up. They just don't like them. For whatever the reason being. And some people, they just don't want them in the cell. I want a new cellie. So whatever the situation, I don't want them, or they're intimidated by them, they'll fucking cross. So you can get crossed up for so many different things off the top. So just, it's not about that, but what it is with that in mind, that shit could eat away at you. Because then you start wondering, are they fucking politicking against me? Are they plot? You know what I mean? It could be hard. And of course, you have to be strong. And you got to keep that fucking strong, a good head on your shoulders, or a strong mind, or strong mental, as they say. You have to read, you know what I mean? Just keep busy. Always keep busy. You got to do your workout. You have fucking routine every day. Boom, 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 boom. If you got to do it twice a day, do it twice a day. Keep a strong mind and a strong body. You know what I mean? Because otherwise, you could be strong as fuck. If your mind is weak, man, you ain't you're gonna break. You know what I mean? And so it's like, and no one wants that around either. No one wants some weak motherfucker around, physically or mentally. You know what I mean? A strong mind could usually get you, well, not usually, a strong mind will get you further than a strong body off the top. You know what I mean? But, man, it really does have its effects on people. And like I said, sadly, I've seen homies like commit suicide. I've happens all the time. I've seen just regular people, you know, just homies in jail people in jail, period. They'll go in there normal and then they lose it because it takes its toll on you. It does a lot. And like, I carried that shit with me a long time. I carried that shit with me to where I've been asleep, and I've said this, I just punch the wall and I wake up with the like pain, like almost breaking my hand, just like bam, you know what I mean? Just while I'm asleep and just that shit'll wake you up. I've told the story about when I was with Joker from Eastside 13, the black homie, sorry, rest in peace, where I don't know what the fuck happened in the middle of the night. I swung in the air, did a flip off the bunk, and bam, and hit my fucking my leg against the lockers. This is in Calipat though, and fucked myself up, and I landed like on my head and shit, with my neck, and I was fucked up from that. That shit fucked me up, and I was just swinging at the air hard. I swung as hard as I could, but in the air, not knowing, you know what I mean? And that shit fucking took me, flipped me. I took that shit to the streets. I've been in bed with, I will just say, I've with the next that I've swung on while I'm sleeping, and to the point where there's a period, I just, you know, it took a long time before I could actually sleep comfortably with anybody, you know what I mean? But not a long time, but I carried it with me for a while. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, like I said, it was in jail, it was in the streets, where I'm just waking up swinging and shit, or having these fucked up ass dreams, and from time to time, a paranoid, crazy thought, and then I also sit back and tell myself, like, dude, you're tripping, like, the homies love you for, or they not love, but no, they like you, or you hope they do, and or I tell myself, like, man, I ain't done shit wrong, I ain't never show weakness, I ain't no punk, like, I get along with who I need to get along with, you know what I mean? Even the fucking op and shit, like, the respect level is always there. I carry myself with respect, and I give respect, and I get respect, you know what I mean? And I don't go around woofing, I don't go around talking shit about people, none of that. I didn't get caught up in drugs, I wasn't involved in drugs, I wasn't involved in gambling. I try to stay away from politics. Sometimes I have my moments, but not really. For all in all, I stayed away from politics, especially because, I mean, we all have like a silly or situations where we're kind of, you know, but all in all, I've never been into politics. I've been offered positions or opportunities to like be a right hand, or if I wanted a section or a fucking whatever, and I turned it down, like, respectfully, because it's like, that's not something I wanted to do. I mean, fucking, if it's on, it's on, or even if it's, I'm raising my hand, but once you get caught up in that's a whole nother fucking monster right there. You get yourself fucking killed, you know what I mean, for that shit. And I'd rather sit back and be that solid camarada, solid fucking righteous campolero that the homies know is gonna be there and have their backs, or be the first one on that line, fucking put in work, you know what I mean? And keeping my mouth shut and just fucking dalegas, you know what I mean? So that made things a little bit easier for me, because I didn't get involved I didn't get involved in drugs. I didn't get involved and when I did drink, I didn't act stupid like certain people do, you know what I mean, that we know on the internet, you know, fucking get drunk and they act like fucking little bigger weenies than they already are. So with that, I'm gonna cut this one short for you guys today. It basically, I just wanted to throw something out there. It's been a couple of days since I did a video, so I thought I'd just say that it happens, and my heart goes out for the the homies who it happens to. So stay strong, keep your mind strong, keep your body strong, and keep it going. It's gonna be all right. All right. And sometimes it's not always what you think it is. Sometimes when you think something's bad, it's all in your head most of the time. All right. Peace out. So, oh, I got a song I want to add. Anyways, you know what time it is? Hey, I need to get some more subscribers, man. I'm trying to get to that 1,000. I'll go live, whatever. All right. Here we go. Radio. Tonight is definitely a late night. Dale gas.
Many. Also, oh slow, oh slow, oh slow. Southeast LA, tagged up stop signs. Mr. Cisco in the alley with a long timeline. Puppet on the corner, hoodie, barcode eyes. Monster got a ladder, said someone might die. Death in the rear view, faded mural paint. Dreamer on the wall, spray can saint. We refine 'em. Homie, air block, A-stone. You hear that gate slam, you know who's home. Looney Valley of dreams, ain't no joke, oh, ain't no joke, oh, yeah. From the gutter to the beams, we still broke, still provoke. Yeah. Mouse from the west side, VIA locals in the smoke. West Los, West Los, West Los. These homies from Loonies ain't no joke, ain't no joke, ain't no joke. Yeah. Chrome on the tie, ashes on the dash. Grandma say a prayer while we counting they scratch. County on my cousins, tattoos on my name. Mama say I'm sleeping, but I'm married to the game. Sirens in the distance, dogs bark then hush. Blood on the sidewalk, neighbors never blush. I don't trust my shadow, I just trust my set. If it's ride or it's die, we already met. Looney Valley of dreams, ain't no joke, oh, ain't no joke, oh. From the gutter to the beams, we still broke, still provoke. Yeah. Mouse from the west side, VIA locals in the smoke. West Low, West Low, West Low, West Low. These homies from Loonies ain't no joke, ain't no joke, no joke. Loonies.